Back to Beccas by the Bay and come with me in the garden today. I've been hanging out all morning long, trimming up our tomato plants. And as I trim, I've had what you would call, this is what they call suckers. It's where it makes the fruit, and I'll show you guys on the plant where I trimmed them. You want to have some cool water, and when you trim it, put it in the cool water right away. The other thing you want to do is get some little potting cups and label what it is. We have some Oregon potatoes, and we've got some potting mix in here, and that's it. It's been in water, and I'm just going to stick it in here, and I'm going to compress the soil, and then I'm going to just pack in some more soil so that it makes good contact with everything. And then I'm just going to set this in a cool, dark place. Right now, that's going to be our garage because I don't have a lot of room in our house, and I have a bunch of these that I've cut. And just check on it, water it as it needs watering, and it should make roots within a couple of weeks, about 3 weeks tops, and then you can just plant the whole thing in the ground, and you'll have a whole new tomato plant. So I'm going to go put this in my garage. And we had some cold weather here that did some damage to the tomatoes a little bit. We did shrink wrap and put hay. So I'm going to bring you with me to see if we can show you what we're talking about today. So here's a really big tomato patch we have. There's like at least 12 different varieties here. And I know it's super bright out. And I don't have somebody holding the camera for me to see, but there's like darkened, dry, splotchy kind of leaves and things like that. We're going to cut all of those off. And we're going to be really super careful about it because I'm going to show you in here as we go into the garden. Okay, so hopefully I can show you what I'm up to. Okay, hoping you can see this. Here's the tomato plant right here. Here's where you would call this a sucker, and it has little blossoms on it. Well, that's what makes the tomatoes. You don't want to cut the suckers. You want to cut the green foliage, which is usually just underneath. And if you can see right here, I've already trimmed it here. I've got one down here I'm going to trim. And we're going to remove that and take it out. And then as you go, you're going to need to keep stringing up your tomatoes to something because they'll get looser as you're trimming things, and you'll need to string them up to hold them up to something for the weight of the tomatoes. So I'm hoping you can see what's going on in here. It was like really, really messy in here. Like half of our garbage can is full because we're worried that this might have some kind of disease or something going on with the plant. So whether it's damage from the cold or some kind of fungus going on because of all the moisture we've had and fog, we're going to put all of that not in our compost, but in our trash can. That way our compost doesn't get infected. So yeah, there's like lots of, it's hard to show you because it's really dense in here, but hopefully I can find one spot to show you. There's spots where the bloom is coming up. Let me see. I think I did so much trimming, I'm trying to find a spot where I can show you. Let's see. Okay, I don't know if you can see this because I'm holding this, and right in here, really hard to see. Maybe if I go this way. Right in here is a tomato sucker, which makes the blossoms, which makes the tomato plant. Right here is the foliage, green foliage. You don't want to cut that tomato plant off. That's damaged. You want to just cut the greenery and leave the blossom so that you still have tomatoes. This will make tomatoes right here, the little blossom, and I cut off the foliage that was damaged. As I was going around and trimming up all of our foliage, I noticed that the only damaged leaves were just the green foliage. All the blossom limbs didn't have any damage from the cold or any kind of a fungus. So that just shows you how smart the tomato plant is that by protecting the tomatoes, the damage went to the green foliage first, not to where the fruit's going to be. So I don't know if that's always the case where I'm new at gardening, and I just thought that was a really neat find, and I thought I would share that with y'all and share with you what we're doing today in the garden as we trim up what happened from all the cold weather that we had. So that is what we're doing. And yep, so lots more airflow is going on. You can shake your blossoms. It gets pretty windy here, but you can tip tap them each day or stuff like that. So these were all heirloom tomatoes. And there's the Brandywine, the Black Sea tomato, Black Seaman, Triple L crop, the Oregon Spring, Homestead, and Rutgers. I think that's all of them. So that was our experiment patch right here through the fall and winter here in South Texas. And we've got, hi, Tebba. There's the Bubba. There she is. Hi, Bubby. Oh, she's so happy. So happy. Let's say hi. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah. There she is. So we got the Husky Red Cherry. It's a hybrid tomato, and it's supposed to make really prolific dwarf indeterminate plant. So it should be about a golf ball size. And then out in the garden here, we planted the Better Boys, Sweet 100s, and a couple other varieties. I think there's a large red cherry from M.I. Gardner and a Homestead. And then we've got our beets and Brussels sprouts. And then we did some more collards and Swiss chard that's supposed to come up. There's our banana trees and our fig tree and our chickies. Say hi, chickies. We're trying out a couple more, or another variety. I haven't tried this one before. It is called Juliet, and it is a indeterminate, kind of like a large cherry tomato, shaped almost like aroma, but smaller than aroma, but sweeter than aroma. So we'll see how that one does. So we're trying that one out. And I think that's pretty much it for our cherry tomatoes. We did get to try the Rutgers, and I was not thrilled with them. And I don't know if that's because of the cold weather that we had. Just maybe didn't have as much flavor. It was a little mushy. I did get to try the Oregon Spring tomato, and I really liked that one. I thought it was really super sweet, or medium to very sweet. And it was about a little bit bigger than a golf ball size. So I think I will probably grow some more of the Oregon Spring tomatoes. So that's why I'm trying to take some of the clones from them. I didn't have time to start everything from seed. And the ones I started from seed, I didn't want to grow. So I gave them to someone else who wanted to try out the Rutgers. And they'll let me know if it goes better for them or not. And we're going to wait on the rest of these to ripen up to try and see which ones we like. But I'm taking clones in the meantime. And then that way we can find some room to plant maybe some more tomatoes somewhere. I'm not really sure where. But this is our little experimental patch here going on. And that's it for today in the garden, y'all. So I can't see anything because I am in the sunshine. I have to bring you guys this way. Okay, now I can see. So happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us in the garden. I hope these tips were helpful. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, hit share, and subscribe if you're new. And I'll try to bring some more gardening videos. I've been out here all day trying to trim these up because I don't want to cut any of the tomato plants and the blossoms. So I've been really careful to just be very precise about my snipping. So I'm going to finish that up, and you guys have a beautiful day. See you in the next one.